have one more case study, and this is about Save Your Siblings.
I was born for a very specific purpose. I was the result of a cheap bottle of wine or a full moon or the heat of the moment. I was born because the scientists managed to hook up my mother's eggs and my father's sperm to create a specific combination of precious genetic material. In fact, when Jesse told me how babies get made and I, the great disbeliever, decided to ask my parents the truth, I got more than I had bargained for. They sat me down and told me all the usual stuff, of course. But they also explained that they chose little embryonic me specifically because I would save my sister too. We loved you even more, my mother made sure to say, because we knew exactly what we were getting.
Implantation genetic diagnosis, PGD, allows some families to have another option. PGD is a genetic selection process done outside of the woman's body. In vitro fertilization techniques are used to fertilize eggs in the petri dish. The cell is removed from the embryo at the 8-cell stage after about 2 days of growth and analyzed. An embryo with the desired genotype is then chosen to be implanted into the uterus to be carried to term. Using this technique, families can create an embryo that is a genetic match and therefore a viable donor for a sibling.
You know, some things like hereditary diseases are things that you really shouldn't have to deal with. You know, it's not out of vanity, selfishness. It's in order to save the child.
So who doesn't support PGD?
I don't know, I'm just kind of conflicted about it because, like, it just seems kind of weird that they're, like, having another baby just to use it for, like, its organs, pretty much, or whatever body part they need for the other child. So, like, I don't know how I really feel about it because it seems kind of wrong to just use them to save someone else. I mean, they're doing it for a good reason. It's just, like, I don't know if it's right to do that.
I've actually read the book that the instruction was taken out of, Sob Like Baby. Anyway, but I was able to kind of be in the head of the girl who was born specifically to be her sister's savior, I guess. And so I'm really conflicted about the issue as well, kind of like Chrissy, because I feel like it's a good thing, but I don't feel like any parent should inflict that much stress, that much pain on another child. What about the cultural differences? So, because it would only be available for certain people, how do you think that will change society?
It kind of seems bad because, like, the people who are, like, rich and can afford it will have, like, problem-free children, like, no diseases or anything. But then, like, if you don't have enough money, then, like, hereditary diseases will keep going for your family. And then you might kind of feel bad because, like, other people can prevent it, but then you can't just because you don't have enough money for it.
I feel like what Chrissy said was really, like, I feel like that's true, but I also feel that if a parent really wants to save their child, that they'll find money to do that. Like, I feel, we always talk about how, like, moms become, like, superhumans whenever their babies are in danger or whatever. But I feel like that would be the same in this case, too, where they would find the money if they really wanted to.
So, I would like for you guys to get in with your lab groups and discuss at what age and under what conditions do you think it should be legalized for an adolescent or anyone to give consent for themselves.
Is it like consent for anything, or just specific? Like,
You can do specifically too. Like you can say in general this.
We are going to college. We're adults now. We actually have the mind capacity.
I think it really depends on what it is in question, what you're getting your treatment, because if it's just a
People are mature.
like I went to the doctor at 17 and your parents consent. So it really depends on what it is. Something serious, you should get parent consent, but something simple like a flu shot, or just like blood check, just to
we're thinking that, like, well, he thinks kind of like more like in the age of like 16, like-ish for like general consent, and like I think more like 18, just like, I feel like as long as you're living in your parents' household, I feel like they should be informed on that.
So today we're going to make some skits, and so I'm going to have
this whole section a group, this whole section another group, and then that section another group. And what you're going to do is you're going to take a theme, and so you can actually use, for example, one of the case studies that I gave you, and if you are having trouble thinking of a theme for yours, I could help you, and I have another case study that can help as well. And so you're basically going to discuss, you're going to do this skit, and then you're going to discuss what it is about and what are the problems in it.
Hey! He's not.
Deciding maybe whether or not to have an appointment.
No.
So Ernie's pregnant.
Doctor tells them anyway.
Yes.
That's definitely what we should do. So doctor, pregnant, who's your parents? Or should we have your rental units here?
I'll be his mom.
No.
I'm a daddy.
I'll be his other one.
I'll be like me again.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with it. And then you can be like the nurse or something, or like assisting Sandy. You're the guidance counselor.
You can be with Sandy. Like,
So doctor, nurse, guidance counselor, parents. What are you?
I know, that's what. Gynecologist.
His friend? I don't know. Like a friend.
You can be friends. Or the boyfriend.
Or the boyfriend.
No.
Oh yeah, the father.
Instead of doing abortion, is that you have some parts, private parts that do, you're not sure, and your parents didn't tell you.
Like he's a
They
girl.
tell you that you are part of what you do.
Hermaphrodite?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that. Because then,
Okay.
And then he grows up as a guy, but he was also a girl. But they chose for you.
you are sure if you want to take away those parts and become a girl or become a man.
Yes!
Yeah.
Also think about afterwards discussing about the scene, so you can have a couple of people doing that instead of the actual skit.
Okay.
Wait, who wants the abortion debate, and then who wants the... Okay.
Yeah.
I think abortion is
Abortion! Okay. So,
But what are the
what's like the conflicting issue in that one? Like, what's the bioethics issue?
should the parents have a say?
like your parents?
Do we want you to have one, or do you want to have one and we don't want you to have one?
I think it's better that he wants one,
and then
we don't.
Going to be a doctor, we have 2 psychologists,
We have a male,
a healthy child, a sick child.
So we're going to do the savior sibling thing, and the rough plan right now is that Sadie and I will be the parents of Stephanie and Matt, and Stephanie will have sickle cell anemia, or something like that, and then Matt will have to we had Matt in order to save Stephanie, and then more. But you guys are doing this kind of stuff.
Which one is
No one is doing the HIV thing. Like after for some reason. They're doing like beginning. Okay. So you said you're going to do kind of count like. Want to do it, so we just see him, and then he goes off, and so he comes over and then Seth dies. Oh, okay. I died.
So over there is.
And remember, like, what to say about it. So afterwards,
When they leave, we just
like, what the audience is saying. Like, just say,
we're out of camera screen right now.
what skit was about.
What are they going to tell me?
Well, basically explain, I guess, like, more so
And then Taylor and
the different.
Bring me to Taylor.